Welcome to your second stimulus check update, stimulus package update, and stimulus news report for Friday, September 25th. Hopefully you have a wonderful Friday. Now, there has been a lot of questions regarding when is the second stimulus check going to come out, how much will the second stimulus check be, and who might receive this stimulus check. There has also been more questions regarding the stimulus package, what's going to be in it, if there's stimulus payments to more people than just the unemployed. So I want to answer some of those questions because we have some really good news regarding the next stimulus package moving forward, which includes second stimulus check. Now, that's right. That means more stimulus checks. That means more unemployment. That means more PPP funding. That also means rental assistance. So if you're behind on rent, if you need just money to survive, this stimulus package could be highly beneficial to you. Nancy Pelosi said yesterday that Democrats are currently working to craft a stimulus package, and they are going to use this for negotiations and possibly take this to the House floor. Now, Stephen Mnuchin reiterated this multiple times that he and Nancy Pelosi are still far apart. However, that is what negotiations are for. We just need to see the proposal in writing. Steve Mnuchin has not seen the $2.2 trillion stimulus package proposal that Nancy Pelosi keeps talking about. However, that will change very soon as they're currently working on it, and many people expect we could see it within the coming days or early next week. Now, Nancy Pelosi said, this is what she said yesterday, "We are still striving for an agreement, but if necessary, we can formalize the request by voting on it on the House floor." Nancy Pelosi is just saying that whether Steve Mnuchin and her agree or not on a bipartisan bill is not really relevant, doesn't really matter. What matters is they can formalize the bill by voting on it on the House floor, which simply means, okay, let me break this down because I know a lot of people are wondering, what does that mean? Why would they do that? They can, the Democrats and Nancy Pelosi can take a bill to the floor and vote on it. And that would look really good for their constituents for the upcoming election. But here's the problem. If they do that and it's not a bipartisan bill and they have no agreement with Steve Mnuchin and the Trump administration, then that bill is never going to come to light. It will not happen. It will not get approved by the Senate, and President Trump will not sign it. So it makes more sense to get approval first before taking the bill to the House floor and getting it passed. They can do that. It will just be more work. It will just be busy work because nothing will happen because of it, because it's not bipartisan. So that's what she's simply saying there, is she can do it, but she would rather work on an agreement first. Now, this new proposal is expected to be better than the Problem Solvers Caucus proposal. If you remember, that was that proposal I addressed last week, talking about how it's a $1.5 trillion package up to $2 trillion. It's like 1.9 something. So roughly $1.5 trillion to $2 trillion. That was a really good proposal. It had not just one stimulus check, had 13 weeks of unemployment assistance, had $25 billion for rental assistance. It had $500 billion for state and local governments. It had automatic boosters. It had funding for the United States Postal Service. It had almost everything. It was a really good bill. However, many people are expecting that this bill will be better than the Problem Solvers Caucus proposal. It will most likely be a mix between the HEROES Act, which is $3.4 trillion, and the Problem Solvers proposal, which was 1.5. So there's going to be a lot of good things in this bill. We just need to see exactly what's in it and how much is allocated to each person, each institution, or things like that. This bill, a lot of people were anticipating that this bill was going to be for $2.2 trillion. However, that is not the case. Based on what Politico says, they are saying this bill is expected to come out at roughly $2.4 trillion. Remember, Nancy Pelosi said they came down $1 trillion. From their HEROES Act, which was 3.4, they came down $1 trillion, which was $2.4 trillion. That's where that $1 trillion and that 2.4 is coming from. However, Nancy Pelosi was saying before that she has a $2.2 trillion package. Accept this. $2.2 trillion. This is the package we need. Now we're finally going to see it. Based on what Nancy Pelosi and Democrats have asked for in the past, this is what many are expecting should be in this upcoming proposal. Some of the pieces of legislation within this package will most likely include these things. It will most likely be $600 per week for unemployment. That will be either until December 31st. However, because of the timeline, because of where we're at in the year right now, currently, most are expecting it's going to go through probably until the end of January, if not till the end of February or March. However, one of the things that is making the stimulus package cheaper than the $3.4 trillion HEROES Act is they are going to discuss the timeline, the length of stimulus, the length of funding and relief. So instead of unemployment being additional, let's say 25 weeks, it would only be, let's say, 16 weeks. So they're going to shorten things up a little bit, but provide the same amount of relief. So it will still be great. It will still be incredible for the American people. However, it will be a little bit shorter because we are coming up on an election. We are coming up on a new year. And hopefully we will see a vaccine very soon. So it is believed that Democrats are going to take all this information into consideration before they propose the next stimulus package. Also, $1,200 stimulus checks to filers and $1,200 stimulus checks to their dependents. I believe up to 3 dependents, so a total of 5 stimulus checks for each family, which would come out to $6,000. That would be incredible. It would help out a lot of families, help out a lot of needy families, and that is what is needed right now. However, Republicans, on the other hand, only want to give $500 for dependents. So expect negotiations at this point. This piece of legislation, expect negotiations. Also, and there's supposed to be rental assistance in this, and expect it to be anywhere between $50 to $75 billion. And the big one, the big difference from this new proposal compared to the HEROES Act. The HEROES Act was done back in May. Well, things have changed. One of the things that have changed is the airline industry, the restaurant industry, and the hotel industry, and even small businesses are in dire need of funding. They're in dire need because their whole business is collapsing. Airlines are seeing record lows. Restaurants, still many are closed. Hotels, people do not want to travel. Business travel is at an all-time low because nobody is traveling. People are working from home. They're telecommuting, whatever. That is the issue, is that they need funding. They need it now. One other thing that I didn't address, but I really want to bring to your attention is that, and this is something that has been reported a few times. However, it's one of those things that's really up in the air. I doubt Republicans are really going to fight too much on this, but we'll see what happens. But one of the things that's up in the air right now is we do not know if there will be retroactive unemployment checks. That's $600 per week. We don't know when the beginning date will be and when the cutoff will be. Okay? Many expect, like I said, maybe the end of December, January, February, March, somewhere around there. Okay? 4 months. It's not really a great timeline because it's very, very broad. However, that's what people are expecting. But when the beginning date is it going to be September? Is it going to be October? We just don't know, right? September, people were still getting their LWAs, their lost wages assistance. However, it will most likely be the beginning week of October going up. So we'll see, but there could possibly be retroactive unemployment checks there. One Democratic leader said the bill will most likely be voted on sometime next week, and this will happen before the House goes on recess. Yes, the House is going on their month-long recess. They have stated that they will stay in Washington. However, that's not the case. Nancy Pelosi will remain in Washington to negotiate with Steve Mnuchin and the Trump administration. However, other Democrats, other House members will not. They will go back to their states so they can do their month-long campaigning before the election. And one other thing I want to address is if a stimulus package is agreed upon, the House will be called back. They will have 24 hours to come back to Capitol Hill, come back to Washington to vote on the stimulus package. So just because they are away, just because they're going back to their states to do their campaigning does not mean nothing will get done. Nancy Pelosi is still said to be working on this. Politico also reports that Nancy Pelosi had committee leaders draft this proposal back in August, so a month ago. These committee leaders drafted this proposal, but Nancy Pelosi now wants them to update the proposal and rework the numbers. Things have changed over the last month. Things have changed over the last 5 months. The proposal that was expected to be drafted in August, many people are saying that it was not completed. It was started but never completed. So we will see what happens there. However, what will most likely happen based on all the reports is that this new package will most likely include bailout money for airlines, restaurants, hotels, small businesses, and it will most likely adjust unemployment dates. Okay? Because obviously unemployment back in August, they're probably thinking, okay, September 1st is when we're going to start their unemployment. Well, they need to go and adjust those dates, obviously adjust the figures. And this could modify and create retroactive checks. The other thing, possibly include automatic boosters for state and local governments and maybe for PPP funding and possibly stimulus checks. One of the things that nobody really anticipated when the Problem Solvers Caucus proposal was released was the automatic boosters and how it can greatly affect the overall stimulus package. If things get better, the price goes down. If things get worse, the price goes up for the package. And that was kind of dealing with both sides. Democrats wanted a higher package, Republicans wanted a lower package, simply because Republicans were saying things are going to get better, the economy is going to turn around, and we will not need it. But it's a good idea to put those automatic boosters in there now so we don't deal with another stimulus negotiation in the coming months. So that's one of the things that will probably get put in there as well. Now this is really good news. This is really good news because this means that at any time we could see the new stimulus proposal. We could also get word from Steve Mnuchin, maybe Mark Meadows, President Trump himself, that okay, we are getting closer to a deal, that we like the numbers, we like the different pieces of legislation. The only thing we need to rework is just some fine tuning. And that's where we know we're really close to a deal, and we could see it within a week or 2 weeks. Right? Steve Mnuchin said it's only going to take about 7 days for people with direct deposit to get their $1,200 stimulus check. So that's really good news as well. But even better yet, reports are indicating that President Trump is willing to sign a stimulus package over $2 trillion. However, it depends on what is in that stimulus package. And he also says this is most likely due to the recent testimony by Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve Chairman, over the past couple of days. So he's obviously done testimony in the past couple of days, and he has been stating that recovery will slow greatly if there's no additional stimulus. So President Trump it seems like he is opening up to the idea that a little bit more stimulus might be better for the overall economy. So again, we will have to see what happens and what transpires from all of this in the next coming days and possibly the next week. Now, many expect that if President Trump agrees and he is behind this bill, that fellow Republicans will follow. If President Trump is on board with a $2.4 trillion stimulus package, many expect that any Republican will follow in his footsteps. Okay? He is the leader. They will follow. That's what people are saying. Now, let me give you some COVID-19 news. I haven't done that in a couple days. Being it's Friday, I really want to address this because it's very important. This is all based on the Johns Hopkins University. So, as of yesterday, 37,330 new cases of COVID-19. This is down from previous days. Also 1,098 deaths. This is slightly up, so this is not great. However, this is still good news. We are still going in a decent direction, still kind of going down. The new hotspots are California, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, and Wisconsin. Those are the current hotspots, and those are the states that are seeing the biggest rise in cases. So again, hopefully you have a wonderful Friday. You have a great weekend as well. Thank you guys for watching today's second stimulus check update and stimulus package news report. If you have any questions regarding stimulus, please let me know down in the comment section below. If anything new comes out about this, about what I was just talking about Nancy Pelosi and this new proposal, I promise you, I will bring that to you again. If it means doing another video sometime midday, I will do that. If it means doing another update later on today, doing a Friday late night video, I will do that as well. Because I promise you, I want to get you all the correct information as quickly as possible so that you do not have to do all the research yourself. So again, thank you for watching today's video. Do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button if you enjoyed today's video. Subscribe if you haven't done so already and you want to stay updated. And I'll see you guys on the next one.